Greetings. How y'all doing tonight, man? Uh, Tonight, the video is going to be about this uptick in mass shootings that's taking place, and I'm gonna tell y'all about a CIA operation that took place in the 1970s that the CIA admitted to, called MK Ultra. It was a mind control program, and we're gonna tie that MK Ultra mind control program to the mass shootings today and the black on black urban violence that's going on in the hood with the drug epidemic that took place in the 80s. Um, we're gonna tie all that together. So we're just gonna, y'all roll up, get comfortable. Alright, when it comes down to the urban black on black violence, the two places I cover the most is Chicago and New Orleans. New Orleans is currently the murder capital of the country, and it's predominantly black. Chicago has an outstanding amount of murders as well, and it's mostly black on black. At the same time, we used to get 1, 2, 4 mass shootings, seemingly crazy nutcases just go someplace and shoot it up for nothing, without any provocation. But now we having them every day, it looks like. If you look at some of the shorts that I put out, you'll see the latest ones. One was in Atlanta where a black guy did it, which is something that's not common. And just today, earlier in Texas, a guy killed 8 people. You know what I'm saying? Seems like it's happening several times a week. You know what I'm saying? Almost every day. So, check it out. Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, they done a lot of cutthroat, messed up shit, you know what I'm saying, around the world, and to its own people, the United States citizens as well. Oftentimes, when they would really want to do something black budget, they'll be in another country doing it. Later on in this, we're going to talk about the Nicaragua Contra scandal and how the crack was created and pumped through the black community. You know what I'm saying? And in this case, the MK Ultra is what I'm going to talk to you about right now. This took place several places, but the hub for it was in Canada at Allen Memorial Institute. Allen Memorial Institute, MK Ultra. You can look it up. So, during, after the Korean War, you had an influx of American soldiers coming back kind of out of their mind, shouting communist rhetoric, and one of America's biggest fears and biggest enemies was, and still is today, if you look at what's going on with Russia and China, but communist nations. America claims it's a democracy. There's no such thing. But communist nations have been what America has been trying to destroy for a long time. And we're gonna find out why on this channel. You know, we gotta get into that. You know what I'm saying? So what they would do is with this, they felt like uh, these soldiers had just come from fighting a communist nation in Korea and stuff like this, and they all coming back crazy, um, speaking pro-communist things. Like, what happened to these soldiers? You know, what are they under? You know what I'm saying? So America decided to try it themselves. You know what I'm saying? Which was a mind control program. And what they would do first is de-pattern, and that breaks the mind down to infancy. You know what I'm saying? To a baby. You know. And then they would do something called psychic driving and rebuild a person up how they want them to be. You know. Uh, they also did heinous acts like shock treatment, doping people up with LSD, uh, a lot of drugging. You know what I'm saying? Putting people in comas, in a comatose state. And that's all the things they did to break these people down. Now, you heard of the Patsies. You know, all throughout history, you've had people who committed an extreme act, and they were seemingly normal people, but they create an extreme, they commit an extreme act, and nobody knows why they done it. They don't even know why they done it. They snack back into consciousness once they get caught. Like, what did I do? JFK assassination is one of them. You know, so a lot of these guys who uh, assassinated people, like Martin Luther King, JFK, they weren't foreign military or special forces or nothing like that. They were regular Joe Blow American citizens that up one day and did some amazing extreme shit, assassinate the president. You know what I'm saying? You go from working for UPS to assassinate the president, and people like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? The person that actually does it seems to be have a blank mind, you know, amnesia, can't account for time. Uh, they weren't terrorists. You know, this didn't fit into who they were as people. You know. You got the transgender girl who went into the school and shot the school up. You know what I'm saying? The guy in Las Vegas a few years ago who rented a room and put his AR-15 out the window and just killed a lot of people on Las Vegas Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? The mass shooting that happened today in Texas when the guy pulled up, started firing into a crowd of people, killed 8 people, wounded an additional 4, and the police killed him. You know what I'm saying? All of these are Joe Blow average people that just up, for the most part, up one day and start shooting. You know, it has to make you wonder. Now, my theory is that what all these people have in common is that they're under some type of mind control. You know what I'm saying? They're under some type of mind control. And you see it's mostly white males who do this type of thing. And now you'll find strange black guys that's doing it. But none of these black guys or the average black guy, from the hood in an urban environment. You know what I'm saying? They were raised the European way. You know what I'm saying? Upper middle class, preppy, maybe half white, one white parent, but definitely grew up in that sphere. And I think that when you come to the hood, everybody's all about, man, who is this guy? Who are you related to? People, in the black community, we stick close. Everybody knows everybody. Um, Nobody's doing much extracurricular activities. You know what I'm saying? Taking no trips over here, or hanging out with some people over there. In the hood every day, around people that know us. And I feel it's harder for the government to run an operation in that type of environment where everybody's paying attention and it's close knit. You know what I'm saying? As far as selecting a person to commit an extreme act. Now they are running it in the urban environment in a different way. But when you find these lone shooters that go and shoot something up, they don't come from an urban environment. Okay. Now, if you look into the urban environment, you see a lot of murder, a lot of homicide, body for body. You know what I'm saying? And they attributed that to gang culture. But what is gang culture? So let's get into it. Okay. When you look at black on black violence, one time in this country there was no black on black violence. That is something new. That's something that started since the mid '70s. Before then, it was only white on black violence. You know what I'm saying? Civil rights era, crosses burned on lawns, churches blown up, people hung, lynched. The slavery era, people forced to work for free. Chop your foot off if you try to escape. It was only white on black violence. But today, they wanna blame you, make you feel bad. Black on black violence, black on black violence. This is a phenomenon that just started in the mid '70s. Now, the key to the MK Ultra mind control seems to be drugging a person. They gave a lot of people LSD when the CIA was running this experiment. And I don't think they were running an experiment, but they were doing what was building or creating a method that they could use against the people. That's what they were doing. So when these lone test subjects, they were drugged and brainwashed and then built back up. In the 1970s, right after the Vietnam War, a whole lot of heroin flooded the black community. In the 80s, it was crack that flooded the black community. Isn't that the same thing as doping up a test subject? Or they doped up a community? We hear about things like the movie Scarface or black exploitation films and different things in Hollywood, right? After the person was doped up, after the population was doped up, the media forced media force-fed propaganda to the population. You know, be a pimp, be a drug dealer, violence, uh, all the things that's taking place in the underworld, the black community today. And people looked at it in layman's terms that they were copying what they were seeing on TV, that influenced them. Now, it influenced them while they were being drugged up. Right? If you look at a documentary called "Cracking the System," you know about the Nicaragua Contra scandal and how the drugs that was coming into the United States was coming by way of the CIA. They were trying to beat a guerrilla force that they deemed terrorists, the Nicaragua Contras, and they needed a black budget for it, and they allowed the Contras to ship an influx of cocaine, then they came with crack into the black community, and that money was then sent back to South America for weapons and training and this and that to feed the Contras. So right there you see how the government is involved in drugs coming over here and doping up the people. In these controlled experiments, a person was doped up, and one guy, they put him in a coma-like state, and on the radio next to his bed, a recording said, "Your mother hates you, your mother hates you, your mother hates you, your mother hates you." It's crazy. And I'm going to put the link to that documentary about MK Ultra in the biography, so you can check that out. And they'll explain in more detail what it actually was. You know what I'm saying? And then you just think outside the box, and you look at the mechanics of the MK Ultra experiments, as far as picking a certain demographic of person, putting them under the influence of heavy drugs, and then forcing something into their head. You know, that's what happened with the black community. The CIA was doing this MK Ultra thing. You know, they came out with it and admitted to it. The CIA was doing the Nicaraguan Contra scandal. That has been uncovered. Maxine Waters, a black state representative, they had a big committee meeting on it. Oliver North was a general in the military working with George Bush Sr., who was the CIA director before he was the president, and how they had a direct connection with that CIA black budget and put the drugs over here and sent the money back over there so they could defeat the Contras. The agenda back then was to assassinate people who were living the opposite of democracy, communism. They wanted certain politicians, certain leaders assassinated. From Malcolm X to Raymond Washington to a lot of the black figures out there who were just killed. Then they started killing black leaders and people who were in politics. Then they wanted to hold a whole community of people down. And you seen the drugs put into the community, propaganda put on the TV, weapons dumped into the community. And you have people that seem to be out their mind every day, killing each other. People that look just like them for petty reasons. What is the motive for the operation being run today? In my opinion, it's the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. The one thing that's going hand in hand with these mass shootings is the topic of gun control. Every time somebody goes into a mass shooting, there's going to be a outcry for gun control. Well, guns are already controlled. You can't have a felony conviction. When you go to the store, you can't just buy a gun and walk out the door with it. You know, oftentimes you give them the money for the gun, and they run a FBI background check that takes 3 to 5 days. And they'll call you and tell you to come pick up the gun. So you have to be a certain age, 18 years old for any rifle or shotgun, and 21 years old to have a handgun or submachine gun, which are weapons that could be concealed. So you have to be 18 for a rifle or shotgun, or 21 for a concealed weapon. Plus, you have to have a clean record, free of felonies, and go through a background check. Then you have to pay for it. So, to take that background check, you have to have a valid United States issued, government issued ID, state ID, a driver's license. So that means you have to be an American citizen. So you have to be an American citizen, you have to be a certain age, you have to have a clean record. You have to produce documents, go through an FBI, a background check. That's gun control. Guns are control. You have to go through all of that in order to purchase a gun. What more control do you want other than for the people to not have the ability to defend themselves, for them not to have a gun? And that's what seems to be the agenda. I think people are being doped up and programmed with an MK Ultra like thing, and willed to go out there and commit a mass shooting for no reason. Because the more this happens, the more people cry for gun control. That's what's going on. Meanwhile, you have another type of killing going on in Chicago and Baltimore, and Philadelphia and New Orleans, and St. Louis. Black on black violence. You have a whole subculture of murdering. By the way, Soulja Slim's cousin was killed in New Orleans recently. For any Soulja Slim fans, and I may do a video on him, but just urban violence. One thing they haven't factored in is the ghost gun, man. I mean, right now you don't even have to, if you can't meet those qualifications, you can get a ghost gun. It's people that make guns now. It's people that know how to make guns like hamburgers, man. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that they can never stop people from having firearms. It's just like they say, legal, law-abiding, good people will be the ones that won't be able to get it once they take them away. But they'll still be attainable. You know, people making them and the ammunition. So I mean, get in the comments, man, and talk about it. I'm gonna put that link to the MK Ultra program on there. And the more videos I make, the clearer you'll easily be able to connect the dots to some things that's going on out there. So enjoy your Saturday.